So let me ask you, why do you want to make money? And this is a question that all of us has to ask ourselves. You see, because many people forget their deeper motives because they get caught up in that I have to make money to pay my bills, or I have to make money because this is due at the end of the month, or because this might happen and I'm going to have to contribute to that. Whatever it is typically because it's something that you have to do. So when you're motivated with something that you have to do with paying bills and all the other stuff, then you start associating creating money with stress. So you have little motivation to get ahead or to make extra money, to travel, to do this and do that. Things that you truly don't have and don't have to do, but that you want to experience in your life. So you might at a conscious level say, yes, I do want to do that. But unconsciously, you might not have that motivation, that drive to do it. Because what happened is that once you start associating money with all these negative things and having to have stress and having to work more hours, especially if you think that having more money means more work, then it changes your perspective to a large degree. So you have to have a bigger purpose to drive you to stay motivated. You see, when you manifest through desperation, or when you create money through desperation, it can be very addicting. Because let's say at the end of the month, you got to pay these bills and you don't know how you're doing. All of a sudden you're on overdrive. That adrenaline rush, that thing that kicks in your system, that makes you work overflow. That drama can be very addicting. So you might start associating creating, manifesting, or creating money or earning money through a desperation. So if that is your motivation, desperation, then it's very hard because then there's so much stress associated with that. And so it's hard to stop that process. It's hard to stay motivated and create motivation when you're not being pushed because you have to be pushed. See, that's that extrinsic motivation instead of that intrinsic, which comes from within you. So let me ask you, have you ever earned, manifested, or created money or situation through desperation? It's the same thing as being in college and having to write a paper and waiting for the last minute. All of a sudden, you're trying to figure out how to do it and you can get very creative. Because some people I know do that in their own business time and time again. Create situations that if they would have just been consistent, they would have kept growing and growing and growing. But what they do is that once they have a little bit of money, it's almost like they stop, they get too comfortable, and then they wait for that next wave of desperation. They wait for that next wave where they feel like things are crumbling a little bit or a lot to then be able to jump through and make the next step. So do you need that pressure to be productive? Do you need that pressure to help yourself grow? Because that's what you ask yourself when you ask yourself, why do you want to make money? Because if you know the true reason, the purpose of why you want to make money, then you don't have to wait for a crisis. If you know what you dream of, what you truly desire, what motivates you, something positive that pulls you, then you don't have to constantly be pushing. Then you're really inspired to go for it, to have a bigger dream, and to even know what your bigger dream is. So let me ask you, do you know what your bigger dream is? Because if you don't, then how is it supposed to pull you? Because that's what having a big enough purpose, big enough dream will do. So let me ask you a couple questions. If you had all your basic financial needs met without having to worry, what would you do? How would you feel? What difference would it make to your life? And I remember I used to say when I was working full-time, oh man, once my business is creating enough revenue where I can stop working full-time and then dedicate myself to the business, I would be doing this, and that to make it grow. And then what happened? Once I got that opportunity, I was like, why? Because I didn't have an understanding of why I wanted to make money at that point in time, which was when we really started the business process. And as I developed why and a purpose for it, then what could I do with that money? How would it benefit my life and the life of others? Then it started to shift to a large degree. So, because I was used to wanting money and creating money out of desperation or out of pressure in my life. So let me ask you another question. If you made extra money for your business or for yourself, what would you do? For example, we sat down and said, well, we would hire this family member and this friend because they're very good at what they do. We would expand on our reach and how we impacted people, which is why we have several different aspects of our business now. That's why we can now contribute to other people's lives that work with us because of that. So if you had financial freedom, how would you contribute to the life of others? And we're going to go over this in another video. But think about that. Think about that opportunity to contribute. Because at the end of the day, when you think about why you want money, if you can see it for your own life, whether it's traveling, whether it's spending more time with your children, whether it's contributing to your parents, or giving back to them, buying them a home, whatever it may be, whether it's exploring different cultures, whether it's helping youth, whether it's helping a nonprofit with your own money or time or whatever it is. See, contribution can be a driving force. It's the biggest driving force for many people. So it helps us support others by the gift that we share. So our motivation is not enough to make us want to do the things that we need to do to be successful, to earn that money in our life. So once we understand why we want to make money, why we genuinely want to have money in our life, not just, oh, I want $1 million. And a lot of people tell me, I want $1 million, I want $100,000. And I say, so what would you do with that money? I don't know, I just want it. Do you think that's a big enough driving force to actually help you get there? When you can see it in your mind. And I used to visualize myself contributing and doing this. I still do because I want to be able to give at a bigger level. So if you can see it in your mind, then your mind will pull you to do the things that you need to do, to create that thriving business. Because again, it takes a lot more than that to create that. If you know why you want to make money and have a bigger purpose for the reason that you want to make money, other than just to make it, other than just to be comfortable, other than just to pay your bills, because paying bills is not a motivating factor. It is to a certain degree, but it doesn't give us that oomph to go above and beyond that. Because many people can hit that mark to pay their bills and just live on that baseline, but it's that oomph to get to the next level that you need a big enough reason why you want to make the money, to get you past that level of comfort, to get you past that level where you want to expand and create money for a way different reason, to open up doors for yourself, to really follow your dreams and desires, and to really open up the doors for others to also follow their dreams and desires. I hope that helps. I hope you reflect on that and do that to figure out why you want to make money. Thank you.